Okay, dear students of class 11 science, in this video we will discuss more about the force of friction. Okay, uh, majorly we will discuss how to calculate the friction force, right? So this is your notes page. Okay, now first thing, as we know that friction forces of two types, static friction and kinetic friction, or we also call it dynamic friction. Clear. Now first we will learn how to calculate static friction. Static friction is applied on a body when the body is at rest, when the body is not moving. Take a look at this body. Here, this is the applied force. The value of V equals to 0. That means body is not moving, and Fs is the force of static friction. Okay. Now see, uh, if I apply 1 Newton force on this body, right, from here I am applying 1 Newton force on this body, and the body is not moving. Okay, the body was at rest, and after applying the force also, the body remains at rest. That means the net force on the body must be equal to 0. That means there is some force which is acting in opposite to the direction of this applied force, and that opposite force is also 1 न्यूटन. ठीक है, तो अप्लाइड फोर्स भी 1 न्यूटन हो गया, आपका अपोजिंग फोर्स भी 1 न्यूटन हो गया. नेट फोर्स विल बी 0 and therefore the block does not move. What is this unknown force? This unknown force is actually the force of friction. All right? ठीक है, तो इसका मतलब क्या होता है? इसका मतलब ये है कि जब तक बॉडी मूव नहीं कर रही तब तक आपका अप्लाइड फोर्स और फ्रिक्शन फोर्स दोनों इक्वल होते हैं, राइट? इफ यू अप्लाई ए फोर्स ऑफ 10 न्यूटन, द बॉडी डज नॉट मूव. दैट मीन्स फ्रिक्शन फोर्स इज ऑल्सो 10 न्यूटन. If you apply the force of 5 Newton, the body does not move. Then it means that the friction force is 5 Newton, because only then the forces will be equal and opposite. Net force will be 0 and the body will remain at rest. Alright, this was the first point. Now, coming to the second point, see, friction, it also depends on the nature of surfaces that are in contact. You can see, you have observed that on some surfaces it is very easy to get the body slip. Okay, but on the other surface the body does not slip that easily. Okay, what is the reason? If the body slips easily, that means friction was very less. If the body does not slip that easily, that means the friction was very large. So, friction force depends on the nature of surfaces also. Now, how do we put that in our law of friction? See, if you see this mu s, this is pronounced as mu s. It is known as coefficient of static friction. Okay, coefficient of static friction. Right? What does this mu s represents? It represents the nature of surfaces. अगर surfaces दोनों ही rough हैं या दोनों में से कोई एक surface rough है, the value of mu s will be very large. But if the surfaces are smooth and polished and the body slips easily, then the value of mu s is very less. ठीक है? This is one thing. Now, one more thing, that friction force also depends on the weight of the body. Not exactly the weight of the body, but it depends on the normal reaction force acting on the body. Okay, it is a very well known example that lighter bodies, you can move them easily, and heavier bodies, you feel difficult to move them. Why? Because on a lighter body, the normal reaction force is less. On a heavier body, the normal reaction force will be more. Why? Because its weight is more. So, the second factor on which static friction depends is the normal reaction force. The first factor is coefficient of static friction, and the second one is normal reaction force, right? Now, if I want to combine both of them, then I can simply write them that static friction is equal to nu into n, or static friction is equal to the product of coefficient of friction and the normal reaction force. But also know that this is the maximum value of static friction. ठीक है, अभी अगर फिर से हम इस एग्जाम्पल पे जाएं, ठीक है, तो जब मेरा अप्लाइड फोर्स 0 था तो फ्रिक्शन फोर्स भी 0 था, राइट? मैंने अप्लाइड फोर्स 1 न्यूटन किया, बॉडी ने मूव नहीं किया, तो इसका मतलब friction force was also 1 Newton. When I applied force of 5 Newton, again the body did not move. That means again what was the force of friction? It was 5 Newton. ठीक है, तो जब मैं अपना फोर्स बढ़ाता हूँ, बॉडी मूव नहीं करती है, तो इसका मतलब फ्रिक्शन फोर्स भी उतने ही हिसाब से, उतनी ही अमाउंट में बढ़ रहा है. ऑलराइट, तो ये कितना बढ़ सकता है? व्हाट कुड बी द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू ऑफ फ्रिक्शन? ठीक है, कोई बॉडी मूव नहीं करती, पहले आप थोड़ा फोर्स लगाते हो, फिर भी मूव नहीं करती, थोड़ा ज़्यादा फोर्स लगाते हो, फिर भी मूव नहीं करती, आप बहुत ज़्यादा और ज़्यादा फोर्स लगाते हो, और उसके बाद में बॉडी मूव करने लग जाती है. ठीक है, यानी एक लिमिट तक तो फ्रिक्शन आपको अपोज करता है, उसके बाद में एक लिमिट के बाद में वो आपको अपोज नहीं कर सकता. व्हाट डज दिस मीन? दिस मीन्स अप टू अ सर्टेन लिमिट the friction force can increase, and beyond that limit friction force cannot increase. What is that limit? That limit is given by this formula. Mu s is equals to Fs is equals to mu s into m. This is the maximum static friction. Okay, and if I ask you the value of minimum static friction, ठीक है, तो minimum static friction can be 0. That we have already seen in this example. What was that? That if the applied force is 0, the friction force also becomes 0. Okay, so this is the nature of static force of friction. It's not very simple. It has a complex nature. Now let us see one more example. Okay, this is a body of a block of mass 10 kg. There is the one downward force acting on it, which is the force of gravity. That will be m into g. That will be m. Sorry, I didn't have the pen. Okay, that force, the downward gravitational force, will be m into g. What is the mass? Mass is 10. What is gravitational acceleration? Gravitational acceleration is also 10. So what is the total gravitational force on that body? That is 100. Okay, now one more force is acting on it in upward direction. That is what? That is the normal reaction force. Okay, now how do we calculate normal reaction force? Because the body is neither going up nor it is going down. That means these two forces are equal. Okay, so how to calculate friction? The maximum value of friction. The maximum value of friction is calculated by this formula. Mu s into n. What is the coefficient of friction given in the problem? 0.1. So it is 0.1 multiplied by n, and that is 10 Newton. That means the force of friction for this movement, okay, it can be 0, it can be 10, or it can take any one value from 0 to 10. Right? So if my applied force is 0, friction will be 0. If my applied force is 5, friction will be 5. If my applied force is 9, friction force will be 9. If my applied force is 10, the friction force will be 10. But if my applied force is more than 10, say suppose it is 10.1, then what will be the value of static friction? Now the value of static friction will be 10. Okay, my force is 10.1 Newton applied force. The friction force is 10 Newton. So what is the net force on this body? The net force on this body will now be my force, that is 10.1, minus the friction force, which is 10. So what will be the net force on this body? It is going to be 0.1 Newton. Okay, now because net force is acting on this body, the body will start to move. Clear with this? Now, see, if you have understood these two examples, you will be able to conclude these things about force of frictions. Now, these things are very important. Okay, the first one, friction is a contact force, because if there is no contact, there cannot be any friction. Okay, cohesive and adhesive forces, they will not act. Even if you think about the electronic of the theory of friction, then without contact there is no friction because there is no transfer of charge. Okay, second thing, friction is a self-adjusting force up to a limit. Like in this example, friction can take a value anything between 0 and 10. So if my force increases a little bit, the friction force also increases a little bit, right? If I push this body from this side, the friction force will be opposite to this. If I push the body from this side, then the friction force will be opposite to my applied force, right? That means friction force can adjust its magnitude as well as it can adjust its direction. That is why it is said that friction is a self-adjusting force. Okay, the third thing, friction opposes relative motion, राइट, यानी फ्रिक्शन नहीं चाहता कि रिलेटिव मोशन को अपोज हो. ये मैं आपको थोड़ा सा बाद में एक बार फिर बताता हूँ. एंड व्हाट डज इट डू? द फोर्थ पॉइंट, इट अपोजेस द टेंडेंसी ऑफ मोशन. व्हाट डज इट डू? इट अपोजेस द टेंडेंसी ऑफ मोशन. Okay, now coming back to the third point, it opposes relative motion. Okay, so here you can see that I am having this one, it is a big block, and over it I am having a small block. Now I am trying to pull this bigger block towards my hand. What happens to the smaller block? If I move it slowly, if I move it, the bigger block, if I move it slowly, then the smaller block will also come along. Smaller block बड़े block के साथ में ही motion करेगा. ठीक है? Now what is that? What is that between this smaller block and this bigger block? कि दोनों साथ साथ मूव करते हैं. Actually friction opposes their relative motion. अगर दोनों के बीच में रिलेटिव मोशन होता तो ये वाला ब्लॉक तो आगे चला जाता, लेकिन ये स्मॉलर ब्लॉक अपनी ही पोजीशन पे रहता. बट फ्रिक्शन इज अपोजिंग देयर रिलेटिव मोशन, राइट? दैट मीन्स फ्रिक्शन वांट्स कि भाई बड़े ब्लॉक का मोशन हो रहा है तो छोटे ब्लॉक का भी होना चाहिए, क्योंकि रिलेटिव मोशन दोनों के बीच में नहीं होना चाहिए. क्लियर? सो दिस इज हैपनिंग जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ the tendency of friction to oppose relative motion. You have seen people carrying a glass of water in a tray. Okay, the tray moves, the glass also moves along it, right? The tray moves, the glass also moves along it. This is because of the friction between the glass and the tray. The friction does not want their relative motion. Friction ये नहीं चाहता कि दोनों का relative motion हो जाए. ठीक है? तो जो ट्रे का मोशन होता है, ग्लास का भी फ्रिक्शन जो है वो ग्लास का भी वही मोशन चाहता है. ओके, सो दे आर बोथ मूविंग अलोंग. लेकिन अगर आप ट्रे को बहुत ज़्यादा जोर से खींच दोगे, then what will happen? The tray will move forward, but the glass will remain at its own position और ग्लास नीचे गिर जाता है. ठीक है? What's happening in this case? In this case, you are pulling the tray with such a large force. ठीक है? You are moving the tray with such a large force. You are moving the tray with such a large force that your force is becoming greater than this force. ठीक है? So the friction is not able to hold them together, and then what happens? Their relative motion occurs. All right. This is nature of frictional force.